The movie begins with chaos in the palace. Hundreds of maidservants are rushing around, cleaning, decorating, and preparing everything. The halls sparkle as they get ready to welcome the Emperor and Prince Jai. They're coming back from a military campaign, and it's a big deal. It's supposed to be a happy time for the family to celebrate the holiday together. The scene changes to the Empress. She sits alone in her room, looking lost and unhappy. Something is clearly bothering her. Her eyes seem heavy with worry, and her silence feels loud. Even though she's surrounded by luxury, it's like she's trapped in her own thoughts. Her youngest son, Prince Yu, walks in. He bows politely and greets her. Then he starts to talk. He says Prince Jai will be home soon. After a pause, he quietly shares another piece of news. The Crown Prince, the oldest brother, wants to leave the palace for good. He's planning to ask the Emperor for permission. He just wants to start over somewhere far away. The Empress listens without saying much. Her face doesn't change, but you can tell the news hits her hard. The room feels tense, like something big is about to happen. The Empress immediately rises from her seat to meet the Crown Prince. She abruptly stops halfway as if someone tugs at her robe, then shortly continues. This scene buttresses the fact that she is very disturbed and might not be at peace with herself. We will find out later what her plan is and why it is bothering her. When she reaches the Crown Prince's quarters, where he is being prepared by the servants for the Double Ninth Festival, she orders everyone to leave and shuts the door behind her. She asks him why he is leaving, pressing him further and asking if he is afraid. This scene reveals that there has been an affair between the two. To clarify, the Empress is the Crown Prince's stepmother. Crown Prince Wan, consumed by guilt and fearing the Emperor's wrath, feels that the only way to end the forbidden affair is to leave the palace and start a new life. She tries to seduce him, but he resists her advances. She tells him that things in the palace will soon change in the coming days. When he asks about her plans, she avoids answering and leaves, leaving the Crown Prince in confusion. In the next scene, maidservants bring medicine to the Empress. It is revealed that she has been suffering from anemia for the past 10 years. The medicine is served, and she drinks from the cup, her expression still visibly unhappy. The time to receive the Emperor and Prince Jai arrives, and everyone stands in procession. The Empress is flanked by her two sons, waiting for their arrival. But something unexpected happens. The welcome ceremony is suddenly cancelled, and the Emperor orders everyone, including the imperial servants, to return to their posts. Shortly after, a messenger delivers a message to Empress Wan from the Emperor. The message instructs her to gather on the Chrysanthemum Terrace the following morning with the two princes and the Crown Prince. Later in the evening, the Emperor visits Prince Jai's chamber to test his fighting skills. Pleased with his progress, he confirms that sending him to the frontiers was the right decision. However, he warns him about his past mistakes and tells him not to take anything that was not given to him. Later, Prince Jai visits the Empress in her chamber. Seeing her son after 3 years, she is overjoyed and rushes to embrace him. In the next scene, the imperial doctor carefully supervises his workers, ensuring that everything is precise and all measurements are correct. They are preparing the Emperor's medicine. The Emperor, appearing to be in discomfort, is helped into his royal resting chair and covered with his medicine cloth. The movie does not reveal what ailment the Emperor is suffering from, but from earlier scenes, more details may be uncovered later. The imperial doctor informs the Emperor that the Empress has been taking her medication daily. He adds that, as instructed, a black fungus has been mixed into her medicine and assures the Emperor that no one knows about this additional ingredient. The next scene shifts to Prince Jai, who notices his mother's declining health and is puzzled by her sudden fascination with chrysanthemums, the golden flowers. The Empress collapses and is gently helped up by her maidservants. She then reveals to Prince Jai that the tea she has been drinking has been poisoned by the Emperor for some time. She further explains her plan to overthrow him in a rebellion. After hesitating briefly, Prince Jai agrees to lead the rebellion. It is a choice made in haste, without consulting the Emperor or hearing his side of the story, a decision that may prove to be a fatal mistake. The following morning, the imperial kitchen is shown, pristine and meticulously organized. Every corner reflects unmatched attention to detail. The imperial doctor arrives and meets his daughter, Jiang Chang. He tells her that he knows about her affair with the crown prince and urges her not to stop. He also instructs her to add the black fungus to the empress's medicine in every serving and warns her to remain silent about it. Jiang Chang takes the medicine to the empress, who is carefully stitching a chrysanthemum flower onto a scarf. The empress subtly asks her about the crown prince, hinting that she too knows about their affair. Jiang Chang serves the medicine, and the empress drinks it, emptying the cup with reluctance. An aerial view of the palace is shown, with golden chrysanthemums neatly lining the landscape. Their significance will be revealed later in the story. During the family reunion, the emperor asks his sons if they have any requests. The crown prince speaks up, asking to leave palace life and experience the outside world. The real reason for his request is to escape the ongoing seduction and affair with the empress. The emperor looks visibly displeased by the unusual request. At this point, it seems the emperor might already know more about what is happening within the palace. Prince Yu hesitates, looking like he wants to say something, but he holds back, unsure if it's the right moment. The emperor notices and tells him to wait for the appropriate time to speak. Later in the movie, we will learn what Prince Yu had wanted to say. The emperor then turns to the empress and asks why she didn't finish her medicine. She responds by saying she isn't ill, but the emperor doesn't accept her excuse. He instructs Jiang Chang, the imperial doctor's daughter, to serve her the remaining medicine. The empress refuses, prompting the emperor to involve their sons. He commands them to take turns urging their mother to drink, warning them to remain kneeling until she does. The crown prince, Wan, reluctantly picks up the cup and pleads with his mother to drink. With tears in her eyes, the empress drinks the remainder, her reluctance evident. The emperor watches without emotion, stroking his beard as she complies. That same day, the emperor appoints Prince Yu as the commander of the imperial guard. The next morning, the emperor summons the empress to the apothecary. He carefully mixes her medicine, explaining that the ingredients were chosen with precision and insisting that she must take it to cure her anemia. The empress responds by saying she has been taking the medicine for 10 years without seeing any improvement. Her words irritate the emperor, and in his anger he tosses the ingredients aside. He speaks in parables, hoping the woman would understand. He sternly reminds her that the imperial family must set an example for the entire country. Despite his composed tone, it is clear that something is weighing heavily on him as well. The medicine is served again, and the empress reluctantly gulps it down. The emperor, in an unexpectedly romantic gesture, wipes her mouth clean. In the evening, the emperor speaks with his first son, Wan, the crown prince. He reminds him of the yearly remembrance for his late birth mother. He also tells Wan that he is his favorite son, but acknowledges his desire to leave palace life. The emperor then reveals his plan to give the position of crown prince to Jai, seeing Wan's lack of interest. However, he emphasizes that the decision ultimately rests with Wan's approval to proceed. Later that night, Jiang Chang is caught making out with Wan. News of the affair spreads quickly, and the empress is informed. She is visibly shaken by the revelation and threatens to punish Jiang Chang. Wan pleads on her behalf, urging his stepmother to reconsider. The empress leaves the scene but stops midway, as if struck by a sudden thought. Lost in her heavy thoughts, she walks slowly, her steps weighed down, as though she is either unwell or plotting something sinister. The camera pans to reveal Prince Yu silently watching her, his gaze fixed on her every move. The empress secretly hires a mysterious woman to uncover the poison she has been ingesting. The woman explains the poison in detail, describing its properties and revealing that it has the power to drive a person mad. During their conversation, she also confesses a shocking truth. She is the biological mother of Wan, the crown prince, whom the emperor has told everyone is dead. After leaving the empress's chamber, the woman encounters Wan walking through a passage. Overcome with emotion, she unintentionally draws his attention. A brief scuffle ensues, and Wan captures her. She is taken to the emperor, where her identity is revealed. The woman is Jiang Shi, the imperial doctor's wife, who was believed to have died after being imprisoned by the emperor. Somehow, she managed to escape. In an unexpected turn, the emperor decides to pardon her and promotes the imperial doctor to governor of Suzhou as a gesture of favor. On the imperial doctor's final day of service, the emperor summons him. He asks about Jiang Shi and states that he wants her to accompany the doctor to his new post as governor. The empress enters the emperor's chamber, her tone calm and deliberate. She tells him she has come to pay her respects to the crown prince's birth mother, as it is her death anniversary. She lights candles and begins speaking in a cryptic manner, her words layered with hidden meaning. She then asks him why he spent so much time interrogating the assassin caught the previous day. The emperor watches her closely, realizing she knows far more than she is letting on and may be withholding something important. Sensing a threat from his wife's subtle hints, the emperor calls for his top assassins. Without hesitation, he devises a brutal plan to eliminate the imperial doctor's family, just one day after appointing him governor of Suzhou. The empress summons Wan to her chamber and shows him a new robe she has made for him, adorned with a golden chrysanthemum badge. The crown prince, suspicious of her intentions, questions her plans. She avoids his questions and instead urges him to wear the robe on the night of the upcoming chrysanthemum festival. Heated exchange escalates, and they end up in an intimate position. Wan, realizing it is improper, quickly recovers and resists the temptation before leaving her chamber. Unbeknownst to them, Prince Yu is eavesdropping nearby. Later, Wan meets Jiang Chang to say goodbye. She informs him that the empress has woven 10,000 scarves with golden flower sigils and sent them to General Wu of the state's army. The revelation makes Wan anxious, and he realizes that something is very wrong. As he rises to leave, he is confronted by Jiang Shi, Jiang Chang's mother and, unbeknownst to him, his own birth mother. Jiang Shi speaks to him with open disrespect, telling him to leave and never return. The crown prince is taken aback, stunned that anyone would dare address him in such a manner. Shortly after, Jiang Shi tells her daughter that allowing her to work at the palace was a mistake. She warns her that she and the crown prince cannot be together. When Jiang Chang asks for a reason, her mother refuses to explain and instead sternly forbids her from seeing him again. Unsatisfied with this response, Jiang Chang insists on going to the palace to find out what is happening and why Wan is leaving so abruptly. Later that night, the emperor's secret assassins descend on Jiang Shi's household. They infiltrate the roof, break in, and massacre everyone, including the guards assigned to protect them. Jiang Shi and her husband manage to fight off the attackers, but as they flee toward Suzhou's narrow entrance, tragedy strikes. The new governor shields his wife from an attack, sacrificing himself and urging her to escape and save their daughter. Jiang Shi, devastated but determined, follows the route back to the palace. At the palace, Wan confronts the empress. When she admits to planning a rebellion, he is overcome with anguish. He feels trapped and worries he will be blamed as the crown prince, so he tries to kill himself. However, he survives the attempt, leaving him physically and emotionally shattered. The empress visits Wan on his sickbed, where he pleads with her to abandon the deadly plan. She refuses and walks away, firmly sticking to her decision. As she moves through the passage, she stops abruptly, sensing that she is being watched. The camera pans to reveal her youngest son, Prince Yu, eavesdropping once again. Shortly after the emperor visits Wan, he reveals that he knows the secret about him and the empress but immediately forgives him, acknowledging that the empress seduced him into the affair. It is during the conversation, Wan, feeling guilty and desperate, reveals the coup to his father. On the way to Suzhou, Jiang Shi and Jiang Chang turn back to Nanjing and confront the emperor. When he refuses to answer their questions about the assassin sent to kill their family, the empress steps in and reveals the truth to Jiang Chang. Jiang Shi was the emperor's first wife and is also Crown Prince Wan's mother. This revelation means Jiang Chang and Wan are half-siblings. Horrified of the incense, Jiang Chang runs from the palace. Jiang Shi chases after her, but both women are intercepted and murdered by assassins sent to silence them. Amid this chaos, Prince Yu takes his chance. He murders Crown Prince Wan, revealing that he has long been aware of the corruption of both the emperor and the empress. Summoning his own soldiers, He demands that the emperor abdicate and hand over the throne. However, the emperor's assassins descend from the ceiling and swiftly eliminate Prince Yu's forces, crushing his rebellion before it even begins. Meanwhile, the outer square of the palace is attacked by 10,000 soldiers wearing golden flower sigils, with Prince Jai leading the charge. This explains why the empress is always stitching chrysanthemum flower onto a scarf. They overpower the emperor's assassins and push forward to the inner square, trampling the bed of golden flowers carefully arranged for the ceremony. However, as they advance, thousands of soldiers from the emperor's reserve army appear and launch a counterattack. The golden soldiers are slaughtered, leaving only Prince Jai alive as the emperor instructed. He is captured and taken into custody. As the rebellion is crushed, the palace courtyard is restored with eerie precision. Servants clean the blood-stained floors, remove the bodies, and replace the carpets and pots of yellow flowers. Within moments, it is as though the rebellion never happened. At midnight, the Double Ninth Festival begins as planned. At the banquet table, the emperor addresses Prince Jai, expressing his disappointment. He reveals that he had already intended to give him the throne. Prince Jai responds, saying that his rebellion was not for the throne, but for his mother's sake. The emperor, unmoved, offers to pardon Prince Jai if he agrees to cooperate in poisoning the empress. Refusing to betray his mother, Prince Jai takes his own life. His blood spills into a cup of poisoned tea prepared for the empress, turning the liquid red. Horrified, the empress slaps the tea away. The spilled liquid corrodes the table, eating into the wood and defacing the golden flower image engraved on its surface, a chilling symbol of the destruction wrought by betrayal and ambition. The movie ends. Like the name of the movie implies, this indeed more than a curse, losing 3 grown sons in a single night of horror. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this recap, please support us by subscribing to our channel.